강원랜드가 이제 진짜 여러분 휴대폰 안으로 들어왔어요. 네, 진짜입니다. 오늘 온라인 카지노를 출시했거든요. 처음엔 저도 그냥 또 하나의 카노인가 했어요. 근데 지금은 진짜 다들 여기 들어가 있습니다. 게임은 엄청 간단한데 당첨 금액이 진짜 미쳤어요. 그래서 저도 직접 해봤는데 갑자기 그냥 잭팟 터짐. 소액이 아니라 진짜 큰 돈이었어요.
Hello and welcome. This is Rufomonger, my friends. Today we're going to talk about Avatar Legends, the fighting game, and some talk that the game might be a little bit too difficult for some of the casual audience that's out there. And to be sure, this is a big year for the casual audience in fighting games. This year for fighting games is going to be the best year for casual fighting game fans, well, frankly, in years. Because we have Avatar Legends, the fighting game, coming out, which is great. But we also have Marvel Tokon, right? Avatar and Tokon, those are primed for the casual audience. You know, everyone loves Avatar, everyone loves Marvel, right? And now we got two big fighting games coming out for both. And specifically in the context of Avatar, you know, Last Airbender, it's been a hot minute. Korra obviously not as big as Last Airbender, but Avatar, the brand, still has huge pull. Like a little whiles back, there was the Avatar Last Airbender Magic the Gathering set, and it became the third highest selling set of all of Magic history. So I'm trying to say our boy Aang still has a lot of pull with the general public, right? And there's the movie technically coming out. Well, you know, the movie leaked a long time ago, whatever, right? And we have the all-new show coming up as well. So, you know, there's a lot of Avatar stuff. There's a lot of positivity going into the game. And now we had the closed beta, which just came out. And this is the first real time that a lot of people have gotten to play the game, because closed beta, all you had to do was pre-order to be able to play. All the other betas were very, very limited in the amount of players that actually got in. And now everyone gets a chance to play, you know, as long as you pony up. And there's a bit of a wall that's been hit because, again, a lot of, you know, non-traditional fighting game players, a more casual audience are playing the game. And one of the big things is, this game's sort of difficult. Spawning clips like this, where you can see Katara just sort of putting the boots to a poor newer player. Now, for full information, this Katara player is one of the game balance testers. So they certainly know what's up, right? You know, crazy combos, devastating mix-ups, and basically, you know, like, very quick sequence into death. And, you know, for a new player, that can be very disheartening. But then again, you know, it's very much the fighting game experience. If someone is a lot better than you, you are gonna get the boots put to you. Like, in no uncertain terms. And unlike, you know, a MOBA or another game, you know, Overwatch or whatever, you got no teammates to blame. You only got yourself, right? And that's always sort of the struggle of the matter, that you just kind of got to take your lumps. And, you know, for the more casual audience that might be trying the game for the first time, either here or, say, in the upcoming Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls, it can bring up a lot of negative feelings and negative experiences, and there's been a lot of discussion on this exact topic. Some of the discussion, you know, treated with the usual FGC nuance, let's put it that way. Like, it's going to be what it's going to be, and there's certainly validity to this as well. Like, you gotta put your time in. That's part of the fun of a fighting game. Putting your time into the lab is part of the experience. Like, it is part of the contract you're signing to play the game. You are expected to learn and get good, unless you're purely here only for like a single player experience. Just like your favorite martial arts movie, you gotta put in your own personal training arc. There is arguments that fighting games are unique, that it's the only game where you have to go into practice mode. Other games, you just get better by playing the game, which I don't know if I fully agree with that. Like, I used to play a lot of League of Legends back in the day, right? And I certainly played a lot of the game to get better, but to get better, I also went to other sites. You know, sites that show me builds, sites that show me, you know, which characters are good matchups against other characters, and a lot of the logic. I had to do a lot of out-of-game learning to actually get good at League of Legends back in the day. You could argue I spent a lot of time in-game, but I spent a lot of time out of the game learning how to get good at the game, which is effectively a practice mode in and of itself, but there you go. Now, a lot of this discussion beyond that initial clip came from this specific tweet. I'm not going to hold you, the game is making me mad because the combos are too hard compared to fighting games I actually play. Tekken and Street Fighter 6 are not as hard as this when it comes to combo, it's effed up. Not that I can't learn it, but I like thinking about situations and my opponent rather than worrying about my combos dropping. I think that it is ass, but it's doable. Now, here's where I got a little qualm with this. So what you're looking at here is a series of progressively more difficult Azula combos, easy to hard, right? If you pick Azula as your first character and you don't like combos, you picked the wrong character. Like, to be real, right? Maybe it's your favorite character from the show, but this is a fighting game, and fighting game design and logic is going to play here. Some characters are harder than others. Azula is a harder character. By the end of my first Azula play session online of this current beta, my fingers hurt badly. I simply am not used to anymore playing like a character with such high actions per minute like Azula. You have to press a lot of buttons with this character. Like, you get to the point here with this combo, it'll turn red. Like, it's basically like infinite protection, and they can just flip out. That's how big the combos get. But on the flip, you can just pick this small gorilla child, and with very basic combos, do more damage and all that Azula million button press combos. Some characters are simply easier than others, right? Azula, Focus Azula, the stance specifically, is meant by design to be a higher execution.